Calvin, can you talk about the challenges you face in the Cal offense and kind of what you've seen in watching the film of them and what you have to do against them?
I mean, they have a good offense. They run a lot of plays. They snap it pretty quick. They have a good quarterback. They complete a lot of passes. I would just say for us, you know, we just got to go out there. We have a lot of speed on defense. I just think we got to throw a lot of things at them and get them on their heels. I mean, it's a big challenge, but I think we're up to the challenge.
Is there anything in particular that Goff does that you think maybe you guys can try and stop him?
I mean, he's a really good quarterback. I just think if we get a lot of pressure on him, he won't be able to complete as many passes as he's capable of. So I just think we got to get after him a little bit and just play our defense.
John, you're one of those guys who has to get after him. What does it look like as far as their offensive line and what you guys can maybe do to get after him?
Well, their offensive line is like any other offensive line that we go against every week. I mean, they're going to be big, they're going to be athletic. It's just up to us to, you know, put as much pressure as we can on them and, you know, get them on the ground a couple times.
How do you feel like going through camp and now this first game, how do you feel like you guys are clicking on the front line there as far as getting more pressure on the quarterback? You guys were spotty last year, it seems like, as far as getting pressure. How are you guys better set up this year?
Yeah, I think we're better, and I think we have a lot of room to improve at the same time. But at the same time, like you said, we have a lot of talent on our D-line. It's just some of it's young, so we're trying to, you know, get the young guys up to speed. And just being on the same page, I think as long as we're all on the same page and do our best to get to the quarterback, we can definitely get there.
Eric, does it bother you that the guy sitting next to you has 2 touchdowns to your 0? You're
actually, not really. I mean, I'm happy he got it because it helps the team out. So I'm not being a selfish player, but he's a good player, and he deserved those touchdowns.
Thanks, man.
Eric, what have you seen in Maxwell that impresses you? What does he do? What does he talk about that you think makes him a starting quarterback?
Well, he knows defense is really good, and he helps me as a receiver of like knowing where to go, how to run route against a certain corner of how he plays, and he's also a great leader on the offensive side.
You realize they gave up 41 or 42 touchdown passes last year, Cal? Have you guys seen that stat? And as a wide receiver group, are you guys maybe, I don't want to say licking your chops, but certainly hoping to add to those numbers this week?
Oh yeah, definitely. They play like a similar defense to a USD. So now getting this extra week of preparation, we know where to go in this defense that we're going against. So we should put up a lot of points as a wide receiver group.
Calvin, obviously you had your chance to play special teams. How big of a weapon has Rashad Penny become for this team? Not even being able to crack the backfield because there's such a crowd.
I mean, I think Rashad's a really good player. I mean, his speed, for one, is just, I mean, he's really fast. It's like deceptive, though. I mean, he doesn't look very fast, but I mean, once he's moving, he's gone. So, I mean, having him back there on a kickoff return and being able to bring that return back to the house, I mean, I think it gives him a lot of confidence and gives our special teams a lot of confidence knowing that he's back there and he can do that.
Calvin, how would you describe how much bigger an opponent this week's opponent is compared to last week?
I mean, they're a Pac-12 team, but I mean, just like any other week, we're going to prepare just as hard. I mean, now we're just the underdog instead of the favorite. But I mean, I just think we got to go out there, play our ball. I mean, we're going to work just as hard this week. We're going to go out there just like any other game and give it our all. But I mean, it's all preparation. We gotta work hard this week, and I mean, I think if we play our ball, it's going to be a good game. I believe in our team. I think we can come out on top.
You guys played spread teams pretty darn well last year for 3 quarters. And then whether it was fatigue, I mean, Rocky's talked about youth in the defense to some extent. When you guys look back at the 4th quarters from last year, what stands out about what you didn't get done?
Well, I think the thing is just simply not being able to finish. I mean, there was a bunch of games last year that we didn't finish, and we definitely, should have won all of most of them, if not all of those games that we didn't, finish in the 4th quarter. So that's been a big thing, a big focus this offseason is finishing and doing the best we can to play a whole game.
And kind of on that, whether it is being fatigued and stuff, it's just a lack of focus. Just going out there thinking we have it won, and then just them just playing harder than we do in the 4th quarter. So like Jon said, we've been working really hard on finishing, and in order to win this game this week, we're going to have to finish. So that's a big focus for us.
You guys were incredibly consistent in the weight room in the summer and all of that. How much do you feel like you guys did any more conditioning to kind of finish games this year? Obviously it's a mindset, but do you feel like you're in any better shape than, say, you guys were last year physically?
I would say no. We work really hard in the off season. We run a lot. More than I like. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think we do a lot of the same stuff over summers, but it's more of a mindset. It's more mental, like being able to push through being fatigued and being able to pick each other up and keep other guys going with you. So, I would say it's more that than actually being tired. It's all being able to know your assignments when you are tired, being able to play harder, even though you're gassed, you're like, you want to, take a break. But yeah, I'd say it's all just a mindset. We worked really hard on the mental aspect of it this offseason.
How did you do that?
Once again, just like picking each other up, like telling them, it's like, it's 4th quarter, you got to keep going. Just the mindset of like, you're going to be in this situation, you got to do better. We can't just give up like we did last year in the 4th quarter because we were tired, and stuff. So I don't really know how to explain like how we did it, but it was just like picking each other up and just like the whole focus of we got to do better.
Anything else from student athletes?
Eric, from a receiving standpoint, it was a bit of a rough game. You had 2 catches, Micah had 2, and the other guys who had 2 were running backs, and I know there's looking for more diversity in who they're throwing to this year. But, those are, unfortunately, similar numbers to last year where, receivers weren't getting a lot of catches. What are you guys doing as a unit to improve that part?
Well, for one, we're making sure that the receivers and the quarterbacks are all on the same page in anything we do. So if one messes up, then we know who made the mistake. Then it's all about putting the ball in the receivers favor to win the battle with the corner. So this week that's what we're working on, just positioning, knowing where to be, when to be, and that's pretty much it.
Calvin, how does it feel to knowing that you were the first Aztec in school history to have 2 pick sixes in the same game? What does that mean, knowing all the players that have come through here in almost 100 years of football? What does that mean that you were the first?
It's a great honor, but a lot of credit goes to these guys, blocking for me. I don't want to say I got lucky on those 2 picks, but you kind of threw them like by me. I didn't have to do anything crazy to get them. But John, he blocked. He got a good block for me in the first one. It's kind of funny because I was giving him a hard time because on a pick last year he didn't block for me at all. He kind of just walked off the field. So he kind of owed me one,
Yeah.
But he blocked it up, and I was able to get around that corner on the first one. And then on the second one, Randy Ricks had a good block, and DeMonte Casey had a great block. So without these guys, I wouldn't have got in. But it's a good honor.
And then winning Walter Camp Defensive Player of the Week, that's got to be a pretty big honor as well.
It is. But it's also, it's a team thing. I couldn't have done it without these guys. I'd say it's a team effort. It's a team award for sure.
Jon, would you like to defend yourself? Did you actually make that block last year for him? Or
No, I didn't. I know. As soon as it happened, I went up to the sideline. I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything for you, but I got your back next time.
That's
So
pretty funny.
I had to make it up to him somehow.
He did. He made it up.